And this is something I could do so much of, refining. And this is why I think I really like doing these ponytail haircuts, because they need a lot of refining compared to like a normal haircut, because it's cut in little small sections and that. So you clicked this video because you wanted to see the biggest trending, or one of the biggest trending haircuts for 2024. We're thinking about going shorter. Long hair is big for 2024, getting rid of the layers but wearing it more sort of stronger shape. But when we're going shorter, we've had the pixies, we've had the bixies, we've had the textured bobs, we've had the one length bobs, the Chanel bob, the European bob. We're going to go back to asymmetric. So we're going to be looking at bringing up one side and wearing the other side longer. Now, it wouldn't be me if I didn't show you the first way to do it, ponytails. 3 ponytails, and we're going to create a beautiful asymmetric looking haircut. So sectioning wise, let's get into it. As you can see, this mannequin head already had a very, very strong side parting, which is great because we're going to want to put in a bit of a side fringe. So how we want to be able to exaggerate that is this needs to be over directed back, so when it falls forward, it's going to be longer. This side needs to be cut basically on sort of section ponytail, or it needs to be over directed forward so it's shorter around the front and on this side. So there's going to be 3 sections, 3 ponytails, and we're going to be working with over direction on this haircut. So let's get into the sectioning pattern. So like I said, we've already got that strong side part, so I'm going to use that to come back on the diagonal to isolate this right hand side. And when it comes to sectioning, like I said, we want to be working with over direction because we want to pull the front back. So when it's cut at the back, it's been dragged back so it's longer at the front. But then we want it to be shorter at the back, which is why we're pulling the front back and going to be cutting the back section. We're not working with elevation today as such. We will slide on the side. It's not really elevated, but we're going to be pulling all this back and sitting here so we can create some shortness in that nape. So let's get our first bobble through there. So I'm just going to show you the section. It comes straight back diagonal into that hairline just there. Now where we're going to work from, again on a bit of a diagonal, we're going to be working just past the high point of the head. Create these 2 last sections and I'll show you. See that section just there? If we put the comb on the head like so, there's the high point, there is our section. So there's our section, there's our high point, and we're just sectioning on the diagonal forward. So let's get this out of the way and it will become so much clearer for you. Another bobble. And this section is going to be pulled straight out from the head, not elevating. So it's just sitting like that, straight out from the head. This section here is going to be in between. So it's going to be there, there, and then there. You can tell what we're going to do. We're going to go from shorter, come round to longer. So if I was cutting this in the salon, what I'd be doing is potentially starting on the shortest side and starting pulling out like this, and then we'd be working here, 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 and then starting to over direct slightly so we can maintain that length on the right hand side. So there's our 3 sections. We've got one up here, one slightly lower, and then one a lot lower. So you can visually see it. This is why I love doing ponytail haircuts, to show you guys what we go through when we're thinking of coming up with a haircut for you in the salon, but also when we're sort of training and trying to show people easier ways to break it down. This is it. So we're here, that's going to be nice and short into there, so we know that's going to fall. There's going to be a little bit of refining to be done because how the hair is coming up and coming down. This might be sitting a little bit longer than we want. So we're just going to sort of point cut that in. Same with around the nape. You can see how much this is exaggerated up here. We don't want that length because that length there is how much length's going to be there. We don't want that. So what we want to be doing is we want there to be asymmetric, but there'll be a little bit of refining, but I'll show you that. And then this just here, so it goes short into the nape, but it's all pulled back to there. So it's shorter in here and then it goes longer towards the front. So let's get into the haircut. Right, first haircut. This is just going to be pulled straight out. I'll show you like that. So there we go. There's our first section just there. Just going to pull straight out and we're going to be taking a lot of hair off here. It needs it. This mannequin is ruined. I don't know what's wrong with it, but better for us. We get to have a little play with this. So I'm taking off this length. And it doesn't mean anything to you guys, but I'm taking off a comb plus about 1 inch of good hair and I'm going to point cut. If we want to exaggerate a little bit more, we could pull forward or we could pull it back. I'm just going to pull straight out just to make it really simple for you guys, just like so. So we are point cutting, again, softness. But this is actually my first asymmetric ponytail haircut, and I think my first asymmetric haircut on the channel. There we go, we're left with that. Now we're going to work on this one just here. Oh, she wasn't even sitting. There we go. And again, because this is pulled down, we know we're keeping that much length on that top. So that's going to come around and blend in beautifully. So again, comb and about an inch. So that's what I'm going to do there, and just point cutting off. And I think the magic with these is when we sort of take it off, take the bobbles out, and we give it a good shape, and we get to see what happens like really raw. As I've already sort of predicted, we need to do a bit of refining on this because of how much elevation there is through this bottom section. And then again, this is coming back here, so I'm going to cut this back here because I want to be maintaining as much of that length as possible. So what we want to be doing here, where is that? So that is there, so that's going to be there, there. And again, same amount. It's just there's less hair coming off at the back because of how much it is over-directed back. But there's something really satisfying about just cutting into hair like this. So this would be as if I was point cutting into the sections, just really softening off. I don't want there to be any lines. We're going to have to refine, as I've said, but there's just something really therapeutic about it. And again, just go into little sections like this as if we were point cutting as a normal section, just to soften off and see that all falling out there. And then this side section, to be honest, I think we could have went a little bit shorter with this side section, but I wanted to keep it all in tune, or what's the word I'm looking for? Uniform? The same. I want to keep it pretty much the same as that. So what I'm going to do now, whip these ponytails out, give it a shake, and we're going to have a look at the finished result. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these ponytails out, give it a shake, and then we're going to look at what we're left with, to then how we're going to start refining. So there's one. Whoa. Oh, the shape already. Come on, straighten up. Just get rid of that ponytail. There we go. Cute little number. Oh, pull that one out just to show you. Yeah. So we're going to be taking off that bottom piece. Take off this side. Let's give it a shake. Give it a little brush. Raw. That is it, raw. So you can see how we've kept all that length through this side, but over directing back. How we've taken off this side here because of where we cut it, and then with the back, you can see there's that length, and then this is the hairline we want to be taken off. So I'm just going to refine this and then bring you the finished result. So just basically cutting in that baseline, following that angle that's coming up through there into this baseline, see there, and then following straight across. This isn't at the hairline, just below the hairline, probably how long? Yeah, about an inch below the hairline this is sitting, and then just following this straight around. As you can see here, baseline can be a little bit sort of frayed, a little bit textured if you want to. Point it up into there just to soften off. But you can see how our ponytails were sitting. They've created a nice bit of graduation in there. You can see that shape that's just beveling around there. Now we want to take a bit more off this side so it sits a little bit prettier. But this side, where we've taken this hairline section 2 near the hairline, and then all I'm going to do is just come up, check the client's ear where that is. Do we still want to be coming over the ear? We do on this one. We don't have to always. And then this is basically putting in your personalization to your haircut. So you can see how the ponytail was taken. We've got that shortness there that creates that roundness to the shape. So when we look here, just tidy up through here a little bit. You can see that shape now, just following through there. And this is something I could do so much of refining. And this is why I think I really like doing these ponytail haircuts, because they need a lot of refining compared to like a normal haircut, because it's cut in little small sections and that. But I actually really like refining hair, and because we have to refine quite a lot, I think that's what attracts me to doing these haircuts, just to polish them so much from where we were to where we end up. So I'm going to take off through there now, just to match up with that line coming through there. And how's that looking? Nice little asymmetric haircut. Maybe a little bit more off this side, shall we? Strengthen up a bit more. Not be too disconnected from either side, too short, too long. Yeah, it's looking better. What do you think? Looking better. You can see we've got some slight layers in there because of how the hair was pulled back. But as you get around this back, you can see all of that layering and graduation. Mainly graduation, but just sitting in there just creates a real nice tight look. I mean, look at that silhouette. It looks really nice. And then when we come around to this side, just refining that a little bit more. Just try and take off the edge. I know we're not going to be perfect because this has come from ponytail, but I'm hoping as a learner, it might give you a bit of an idea as to where to take hair to and pull it to and from, and how to work it in to create these exaggerated shapes on either side, some that are longer, how to create graduation, where we angle the hair. Ponytails are down here below 90 degrees, so that means we're graduating, and then through there, spin around. But this mannequin, quality of mannequin isn't the greatest, but I don't want to blame the mannequin at all. The reason I'm doing this is because the quality of the mannequin isn't great, a little bit all over the place. And then just to show you, let me just to get a bit more connection on either side, maybe add a little bit of layer. We know layer's got to be above 90 degrees. Okay. So with how short that is and how long that is, what we could do, we just start at this front and we could just come down to meet the shortness on this side. Or we could start from here and we could work up from the shortness to the length, just connecting that little bit more. So again, I'll do it this side so you can see, but there's our shortness, here's our length, and I'm just connecting slightly there. Let's pull back into this back section a little bit. You'll see the difference. There's our length. See, it's quite connected anyway with how we place the ponytails. And if this mannequin behaved itself a little bit better, you'd see a little bit more. If we needed to connect a little bit, which just take off the edges. I'm not going to do too much though, because but if I was in the salon and we were met with something as raw as this, cut like this, where we've got the shortness there, the length there, we've got this weight point in here, we could look at just taking that off and rounding that off slightly so you get a bit more of a bevel sort of shape to this side and add a bit more style to it. So let's pick up a penguin, shall we? Let's pull up some of the shortness there, and here's the weight point in here. There we go. So there's just a little bit more shape on that edge just there so you can see. But yeah, that is an asymmetric haircut cut with 3 ponytails, refined a little bit, taken off the length mainly, and then I just showed you those little bits of refining how to connect. But yeah, just want to show you that there. Got real nice full looking longer side just there, and then that pixie off side that's just there. Let's spin around a little bit so you can see. There we go. If that's helped you, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. This mannequin just isn't great. It's like really flimsy. Where was it made by? Really light. But let's give it a little shake so you can see what it's like. There we go. A bit more natural movement to it. There we go. There is Frankie from the Saturdays. If you remember her, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that's a little asymmetric haircut, cut with 3 ponytails, a little bit of refining. Basically, just open your minds to where you would over direct to, pull your sections to be able to get a shape like this. If you want to see a salon version, let me know in the comments down below and I will do so. But there we go. Oh, you can see how it goes from longer to shorter or shorter to longer. There we go. So yeah, there we go guys, that's the finished result. If you've enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments down below. If you're new, subscribe, thumbs up, check this video out because this one is going to be an absolute favourite. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video.